All right, Farm Talk, I've got one for you here today. Now, it could just be my algorithm, but I haven't seen too many people complaining about dicamba drift on their beans this year. Maybe there's no dicamba being sprayed on beans anymore. I don't know. But a few years ago, this was a really big thing where all the Enlist guys were whining about the dicamba guys killing their beans, right? Well, my Enlist bean planting neighbors decided they would be all right to kill about 10 rows of my dicamba tolerant soybeans. Yeah, I planted a field of XtendFlex beans. Do you know why? Because these were the best beans I had on my farm last year. That was the best variety. I had zero intention of spraying dicamba over the top in season, but I didn't really need to be able to spray Enlist either. Apparently my neighbors did. They fried their thistles, but come on. That's super frustrating for me. Now, is it the end of the world that we lost 5 to 10 rows of beans for a half a mile? Nah. Am I going to complain about this? Well, I'm complaining on TikTok. Am I going to go to the neighbor and whine and throw a fit? No, I'm not. Because you know what? We don't have weeds growing in this gap between us. I wish they would plant closer. I'm probably a row or two over the property line anyway, but they still planted it and left this big gap. We got to close that up. I don't want weeds. That's what we don't want. It would be super nice if, we could keep the chemicals on their own side of our fence both ways. His beans, well, other than speckling some of his own from their herbicide, they look pretty good. I'm just frustrated because I got a bunch of dead beans that if I would have just planted an Enlist bean, if you would just plant what everybody else plants, that's what the Enlist or the dicamba guys were saying a few years ago too, right? We'll just plant dicamba beans so yours don't get hurt even if you don't spray it. Well, that's a crap argument. And I shouldn't have to plant Enlist beans just because everybody else does. I should be able to plant the best variety for my farm. This one happens to be a really good one that I like. That's a problem though. Anyway, the beans are growing, albeit slowly. They're growing. Hopefully we'll catch some rain today. There's some in the area. Be nice, everybody. Don't be so mad at your neighbors. I'm frustrated with that. I'm not upset about it, like I said. We're not gonna have any weeds growing. And that's probably the most important thing. We'll survive. It isn't going to break us.